So now, this time we have the chapter 20. It is discrimination of the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and expressions in the Philippines. Okay. So now we have the objective. First, we have understand the issues of human rights violations and discriminations of the basis of SOGI. Understand the impact of human rights violation and discrimination of the Filipino society. And last, we have formulate activities and programs to address these human rights violations and discrimination of the basis of SOGI. Okay, so we have the definition of terms. SOGI means an acronym of sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. Aspects of the gender of persons which must be considered and given attention. And we have anti-discrimination bill. It is a process or proposed legislation before the Philippine Congress intended to prevent various economic and public or accommodation related act of discrimination against people based on their SOGI. Okay, so now we have the introduction, the universal policy. So it is Article 2, Section 1, 3, and 26 of the Convention provide for the respect, quality, and non-discrimination of all individuals of the group of entire aliyah, race, color, and sex. Okay, in the same landmark decision of Tunan v. Australia in 1997, or 1994 rather, it is found not only that the reference of the sex in Article 2, Section 1 and 26 must be taken to include sexual orientation, but also that laws must criminalize consensual homosexual act expressly violates that the privacy protection of the law.
Discrimination by the Catholic Church. Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines CBCP and Episcopal Commission on Family and Life, or ECFL, has been fervently demanding Congress removal of gender, sexual orientation, and gender identity in the comprehensive anti-discrimination ordinances filed in the Senate in the House of Representatives, claiming that its inclusion will only create problems regarding ethics, marriage, and family and religious. The reasons that the difference in sex or gender does not belong to the same level as the difference in race, color, religion, or ethnicity. So antagonists of the anti-discrimination bill that the passage of discrimination legislation will open the door for same-sex marriages. A provision allowing for same-sex marriage was not present in the anti-discrimination bill at that time of introduction. First filing has been added. So, the Catholic Church is against the LGBTQ and dili gid sila favor sa gender identity or same-sex and sexual orientation because this will only create problems about sa ethics, marriage, family, and religions. Reasons kay lagi ang LGBTQ wala na bilang sa same level of difference sa race, color, religion, or ethnicity. So, the Catholic Church considers sexual activity between members of the same sex to be a sin. This teaching has been developed through a number of ecumenical councils and the influence of theologians theologians, including the Church Fathers. The Catholic Church opposes the acceptance of homosexuality within the Christian society. And next is the participation of the members of LGBTQ in public life. So Article 25 of the Convention provides for the right of each citizen to participate in public affairs, vote, and equal access to public service in the country. These rights are provided free for unreasonable restriction and free from distinctions made based on sex, which as mentioned above includes sexual orientation. So Article 25 state that the citizen have the right to the enjoyment of the highest attainable of health without discrimination. So ang LGBTQ, especially the LGBTQ, kanang deserve po nila ang ma-enjoy. So the LGBTQ members were at the higher risk of bullying and discrimination. So makita man gid nato karon no nga kasagaran gid sa mga LGBTQ, especially sa diri sa tuwa kasagaran man kanang bayot, gay or kanang lesbian. So makita jud nato sa society nga ginabully sila o gina-discriminate, especially katong mga dili mag-formal nga kanang mga members sa LGBTQ kanang magkiat-kiaton sila. So each citizen must have the right to participate in public affairs, vote, and have equal access to public service in the country. So kita tanan natay right. So bisan unsay buhaton nila, as long as wala sila na pasakitan nga tawo, so pasagdaan na to sila. And that's all.
So today I will discuss the national and local policies. So the local government units from different cities all over the Philippines have been proctorally passing in the Philippine city ordinances banning LGBTQ or LGBT discrimination. So presently, the anti-discriminatory bill is still pending before the Congress. So this bill is expected to be signed into law before the end of the Duterte administration. Prior to the bill, several local government units or TGU have enacted ordinances and a resolution to address these issues. In Quezon City, anti-discrimination in employment was enacted in 2004, and the LGBT-friendly provisions are supplemented in the Quezon City Gender and Development Ordinance. Albay Province and Bacolod City passed anti-discrimination ordinance. The Angeles City not only passed the discrimination legislation but created a gay rights desk as well. In the House of the Representative Raymond Palatino of the Kabataan Party List Fieldhouse Resolution numbers which seek of the investigate prejudicial, discriminatory, and unjust practices and policies against LGBT students implemented and tolerated in schools, partnering with the Department of Education or DepEd and the other government agencies to explore the inclusion of the comprehensive gender curriculum of the basic and secondary education and in vocational and technical schools to incorporate discussion on issue of LGBT persons. So in May of 2012, the Department of Education issued DepEd Order Number 40 or the DepEd Child's Protection Policy to guarantee the protection of the child in school from any form of violence, abuse, or exploitation regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity. So in this local policies, dapat ang mga LGBTQ kay di kailangan i-discriminate o because if imo silang i-discriminate na sila'y rights to na sila'y kanang gay rights das na sila'y kagulingong So, ang mga gay person na sila yung mga rights to dapat i-respect sila. Dili na to sila i-discriminate as well para kay usapod, tawo ra pod sila. Dili na to sila kailangan i-discriminate as a person. So, we need to respect and love them para dili pod sila masakitan. So, next is to effect and state discrimination in the society. So, and the state treatment of LGBT individuals in SUGI within Philippine society and social machinations. So, being a young and not conforming to the gender mist, the risk of the discrimination and abuse for LGBT person by the absence of support mechanisms and school policies, the failure of school to safeguard. Student being administrator and teachers, the discrimination of LGBT violate the right to be free from discrimination but forbids enjoyment of numerous other rights in the covenant as well. So, LGBT youth are often targeted by parents who upon orientation and or gender identity feel compelled to inflict physical harm, frustration, or in Taliban attempt to prevent their child from expressing their sexuality. So, in LGBT, dapat ang usa ka tawo kailangan jud nato sila kailangan jud nato sila kanang i-respect unsa ilahang gusto because kanya-kanya ka kasi tayong pumili ng ating kagustuhan sa buhay. We need to respect kung unsa ilahang gusto. Like for example, if makauyab man gani siya same sa iyang same ra gihapon sa iya, well dili na to sila i-judge because we need to respect para pud mahalipay pud sila. If in this case kailangan ang LGBTQ kay dili pa man siya approval in this kanang like kanang magpakasal ka, di pa jud siya approval here in the Philippines. If kung sa in other country, well pwede siya kay mura gina-approve na nila dito ang mga mag-marriage of same-sex marriage sa ila dito in the another country. So, that's all.